Yo, what's going on, guys? I've been slacking and I say this at every video, but you know what? I still kind of want to make videos, so every once in a while I make a video, support the channel. So what we're going to be making is basically that melody that you heard in the intro. I'm going to try and create that. I have nothing right now in front of me. So I'm going to start a timer and I'm going to try and make a melody in 5 minutes or less. So we'll see if we can do that. And my main focus is going to be making an ambient melody, so I'll kind of show you how I quickly make melodies and the steps I take. So the first thing I want to do is I want to check the BPM, make sure it's at 140. Yes, I'm happy with that. And we'll go ahead and add an FL keys to kind of create our melody. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to scale highlighting, view, scale highlighting, and I'm just going to randomly select minor natural and we'll start with C sharp and see kind of how that sounds. So the first thing I'm going to start doing is laying down root notes and building a bass melody off of this. So let's start with something simple like this. I'm just going to start strumming some notes like this. Da, 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 da. 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5. So I'm kind of figuring out the bounce that I want, and that's what I'm gonna try and recreate here. Okay, so it probably took me a little longer, but I came up with this. Okay, so that's a simple melody. So how do we make this more ambient? The piano sounds okay, but in the ambient melodies, you don't really want a piano. You want something that's a lot more ambient. So I'm gonna go to one of my favorite kind of VSTs at the moment for ambient sounds, and that's Diva. Let's go to Dream Synth and let's just pick Sign Piano. I know this one's a banger, so let me just copy. All I'm gonna do is copy that melody that we have into Diva and see what that sounds like. So let me turn off the piano and... Okay, I like this. I can modify some of the parameters, so I'm going to try and go ahead and do that. There we go. I like the tail on this where it's a little bit of reverb, but it's not too harsh. So now we'll copy it to another VST. I want something a little sharper so that melody pops a little more and is a little less ambient. Because at the end of the day, you still want something that's catchy and noticeable. So if it's too ambient, then listeners won't pick up on the melody. Let's see what this sounds like. I like that. It's kind of like reverse. There we go. It's already very ambient. We're at like 4 minutes. The last thing we can do is just add a sub bass real quick. So gotta go to the go-to here, Serum. All right, Serum, we're gonna go to bass and we're just gonna find something in here. Some of these I know off by heart, so we'll just pick one. Let's go with this one. Then all we're gonna do is just copy these root notes here into Serum. And we're actually gonna move it to my sub bass channel because that bypasses my mixer. That's hard. And that's how you make a melody, an ambient melody in under 5 minutes. Is you start with a very simple melody and you just build off of it using very ambient sounds. The hard thing with ambient melodies is finding these sounds. And honestly, I'm gonna see if I can find like a melody or a sound that's very ambient just randomly. So I'm gonna pick Sky Keys because I know they have similar sounds that I like. Okay, so this is a very harsh sound, but I'm going to show you a simple way to make this very ambient. So let's copy these upper notes here. And then we'll add a fruity, where is it? Fruity convolver. And we'll just add one of these blur sounds. We'll add a little bit of reverb to this. Okay, so we started with this. Very sharp, and then we ended with this. It's very subtle, but it's still there, creating that atmospheric kind of sound. And now I'll add some simple drums. So that's how I made the melody. And if you want, stay tuned. I'll show you how I quickly add some hi-hats and snares to this. It's very simple. For this, you need good drum kits, and I recommend Sickies. I like this. I zoned out a little bit there, but I found a nice little clap in the background that I'm going to tuck in. And that's it. That's pretty much it. You can just add drums and like you have a very ambient melody here. It's crazy how we went from something like this to something like this. Alright guys, that's it. I'm gonna try and render this beat out. I think my FL Studio is about to crash, so fingers crossed it doesn't crash on me here. But stay tuned. I hope you like this video. I'm gonna try to keep it under like 8 minutes. If it's longer, I'm sorry. If it's not, then oh well. Stay tuned for more videos. I'm PJ. I'm out. Peace.